the one they call the floor general, the one who, if you're not on your P's and Q's, he's gonna draw a foul on you. Just let that be known. After the win over New Mexico, Tom Izzo was talking about the game, and he stated that Jeremy Fears told him during the game, during the win, that I want to win this one more than you do, basically telling Tom Izzo, like, I don't know, lock in, or like, I want to win this. Basically stating the fact that he wants this game. He wants to be a winner. And I feel like that aligns with who Jeremy Fears is. He's the ultimate like leader, get it, grinded out guy, little things guy. And hopefully his game develops a little bit more throughout his time with Michigan State, possibly at the point guard spot. But what do you take from this quote? Because obviously I see it, and it's a bigger picture thing to me because I've talked about it before, like on the recaps and previews and stuff like that. The greatest attribute of this team is that they are all wired like Tom Izzo. Like, and that's what makes them good. They're like psychos who want to win more than they want. They want to win more than they like. What's the phrase? Like, you're scared.
Like you
You're
want to
more
win more
scared of
than
losing than actually winning, or something like that. What's the phrase?
you're afraid of losing, not afraid to, or like
You're more
afraid
afraid
of
to lose
losing
than
more
you
than
are like
winning.
excited to win, or something
Y-
revolving around that. I know I'm gonna get tore apart for that, but that's fine. I'm not an encyclopedia. But there is a factor about this team and just how they will have a refuse to lose mentality, and they take it personally. And I think this is a direct correlation to how this team feels. And I 100% believe that Jeremy Fears would be psycho enough to tell his Hall of Fame head coach, who's also a psycho, that I want to win this game more than you. And honestly, probably pissed Izzo off. Probably pissed him off. Probably led him to doing some things in the game that helped out. But what do you take from this quote from Jeremy Fears, telling Tom Izzo he wants to win this game more than you do?
I mean, I love it. I love it. I don't know about you, but this is I've never coached, so I don't. I mean, G would probably be have a better idea of this than I would for sure. Part of the reason I've never been interested in coaching is, well, one, I would have to do it like I would never get to coach college basketball. And
Mm.
that's what really would suck. But two, it's I know I would be more competitive than some of the guys I would coach, and that would piss me off. I think your players have to want this more than you want it. They're the ones out there. They're the ones that have to die for that loose ball. Whether I care about winning or not, I can scream at Jeremiah Fears, die for that loose ball, or I can draw up a crazy good set, or you can call a timeout at the right moment. You don't have to like want to win that bad to do. I mean, you do, but you don't have to want to win as bad as your players do to be a good coach, right? To dive on that loose ball and to do things after you've played for 30 plus minutes and you have no energy left and you're on your second game in 3 days and you're on the tail end of a season, you have to do that because you're wired differently and you're competitive. Like at this stage in the season, everybody's injured, everybody's tired, you're running on adrenaline, right? Like that's the competitive juices are what comes out. I think your players need to be more competitive than a coach for you to win. I might be wrong on that. I've never coached before to know if that's true, but in my opinion, like I feel like I've always wanted to win more than the coaches. That's why like you're out there, right? Like it, you know what I mean? They every coach had their opportunity to play too.
Yeah, look, it's I can never understand it because I don't I think there's something different about Tom Izzo and how he's wired. That's what makes him great, right? And I think that all the players are wired just like that as well. And it is cliche, but there is some truth to, like, the coaches can want it as much as they want it. It all comes down to the players wanting it, like you said. And uh the fact that Tom Izzo has added players that, one, feel like that, and then two, not only do they feel like that, they truly believe it and act on it. I think that it means a lot. And look, Jeremy Fears didn't really fill the box score in the New Mexico game, but you would be wrong to say that he didn't have a major impact on that game on both ends of the floor. That's just kind of what he does, and that's the will to win, I think, coming through with him. And obviously, we as Michigan State fans, we want to see Jeremy develop over these next 4 years, but one thing is for sure, that dude's gonna compete, and that dude's got a couple screws loose, and that dude can draw some fouls. So, I think that this mentality is gonna be something that takes this team far, and something that they're gonna need in the Ole Miss game too, because I think Ole Miss is wired like
Yeah.
their coach as well, and Coach Beard's a really good coach. So, all right, relax. All right, let me end this video before we go somewhere where we don't need to go.
Well, no, all I was gonna say with Izzo is like that's what makes his team special is because he's so competitive. And to play for Izzo, you have to be more competitive than him, right? That it's Hurley. The guys who wins the coaches who win championships isn't a surprise. It's because their players have to outcompete them daily. And if you're outcompeting Hurley, you're outcompeting Izzo, you're outcompeting Calipari, so on and so forth, you're one of the greatest competitors in the game, right?
Yeah.
And that, think about Michael Jack or I almost said Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, right? The competition between the two of them, Jordan was more competitive than Phil, but who was more competitive than Phil, right? That's how you get 10 championships or 6 championships, so on and so forth. So although I think the players have to be more competitive than the coach, it's a testament to how competitive Izzo is to have this level of success. And to your point about Jeremiah Fears competing, I mean, when he drew the foul just by getting over the screen against New Mexico, that changed the whole game. That's something that doesn't go in the box score. But if he doesn't want to win this more than Izzo, if he doesn't want to compete at the level he wants to compete at, he just goes under that screen.
Yeah,
It's
and he
unbelievable.
celebrates it like he just dunked on somebody too. So it points to the competitiveness of this team, and they're going to need it in their next game and the rest of the tournament to see how far they go in this one. Shout out to Jeremy Fears, letting Tom Izzo have it. It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.